Welcome to my Dazzle Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, today is a Tuesday episode, and boy, do we have a dark secret episode for you today. And the reason why I say that is because today's thread is, once you were old enough, what were the dark family secrets you were finally let in on? Oh, baby, let's get down to it. All right, my father was married to another woman before meeting my mother. They had a daughter, and my dad loved her so much, his wife started going crazy jealous. My dad noticed some strange behavior she had towards the girl, and when he tried to talk to her about it, she started arguing with him. He then left with his daughter to my uncle's house. She knew my dad would leave the girl with my aunt while he was at work. So she called the police and said my aunt kidnapped the child. Whoa! The police came in and took the girl away from my aunt. She immediately tried to call my dad, but the woman drove back home, put poison in her daughter's milk, and forced her to drink it. Oh my God. When my dad arrived, he found his daughter already dead and left alone. The woman was never ever found. My dad had never had justice for his first child. Kind of sad. Then when I was born, my mom didn't mind to name me after my sister. We shared the same name, and that's actually how I found it out. I asked my parents about my name, and they told me the whole story.
What?
Oh my God. That's crazy. Man. Wow. I mean, that's a cool story to tell people of how you got your name. You know, if someone ever asked, like, oh, you know, where'd your parents get your name? Oh, I got a story for you. Like, damn. All right. When I was around 3 or 4, my aunt, in quotations, and her 3 sons came and lived with us for a few weeks. One night, my mom stayed up, and I found her downstairs sitting in a chair looking out the window one day. My aunt and the boys moved and never came back. Turns out she was going through a nasty divorce. She had the boys at the house with her while she was packing things one day, and her husband came home. He locked the boys in a room, stabbed her, then shot himself. My mom had been staying up with a gun that night because she had seen him in our backyard earlier that night. Oh my God. That's scary as fuck. Like, dude, I wonder what drove him to that kind of madness, or was it just a thing where he was like, I just want to kill, you know? What drove him to that kind of madness? Because I would hope that he wasn't just deranged and, you know, he was just like, this sounds like a fucking fantastic idea. Let's just do this. And it's like, no, it doesn't. For a normal person anyway, you know, for a normal person, that doesn't sound like a great idea. Like,
Bruh.
oh my God. And then mom was just like, I got that thing on me. I'm ready. I'm ready for you, motherfucker. Get in here. I'm dying to shoot your behind. Like, God damn. All right, got a Facebook message from one guy asking if I was related to my dad, since it's not a common last name. I thought he was a fan of his work because I was in college at the time, and the guy was about the same age as me. And that's how I found out my dad slept around and that I had a half brother the same age as me. Wow. That's crazy. Imagine for like the whole, I want to say dude's probably at least in his 20s or something like that. But for 20 years of your life, you don't even know you got a sibling out there. I wonder how he found, well, maybe the last name, I guess, because it's not a common last name. Because I was just about to say, how did he find out? You know what I mean? But I think he was just like, wait, your name is Cuccinelli? Oh, no fucking way, dude. my biological dad's name is last name is Cuccinelli. Like, is your dad Mark Cuccinelli? And it's like, wait a minute, yeah, he is. And like, pretty tall guy, dark hair, weird beard. And he's like, yeah, man, what the fuck? How do you know? And he's like, dude, that's my dad. And it's like, no fucking way. What? And they probably, it was like, Dad, I got somebody for you to meet. Like, it's your son, nigga. Like, oh shit. Imagine being the dad at that point. You're just like, shit. I guess so. How's it going, son? Like, damn. Sorry I wasn't in your life. I was told that my mother's older brother had died in an accident. He was intoxicated and got run over by a train. Wow. A whole bunch of unfortunate circumstances, etc. My grandmother often mentioned it with sadness because she considered him a brilliant boy, very handy, and had a hopeful career in arts. He was a teenager when he died. However, every time this story came up, my mother's face hardened and she never spoke about it herself. I could have sensed that there was something left unsaid, but it was a kid, so I didn't really question the story. My mom finally confided me about a year ago that she was sexually abused by her brother and that it was not an accident, but a suicide. My grandmother has no idea. Oh, wow. So for the mom, that shit's straight trauma. She's just like, oh, no, you don't know why homeboy died. And I think that's for the best, if I'm being honest with you, just in the fact that, it's good for her to kind of remember him in an okay light, I guess. Like, you really, I don't know, to be the person that kind of ruins the outlook of, her, I guess, child. That would be really tough. And it's already hard enough knowing that, he's not with us anymore. And I think the mom kind of looked at it like, I rather her remember him as a good person than remember him as who he actually was, because I don't think I would have the heart to say something like that either, because that'd be really tough. And to kind of put your mom through that over vindictive reasons, I think is kind of fucked up. And you can kind of just keep that to yourself, go to therapy and talk it out there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Yeah. But I don't know. You guys might think differently. Let's see. Grandpa died while snorting coke and getting head in his Corvette. God damn, man. Like what? What? God damn, man died the rock star life. Jesus Christ. Okay. Doing his thing, I guess. My grandfather killed his youngest brother to get out of going to Vietnam. Oh, shit. His brother, and two of their friends had their numbers called in the draft for Vietnam. They didn't want to go, obviously, but they didn't come from money and all worked to support their families. If they got arrested, they'd lose their jobs and their families would lose their income. So they decided on a different plan to get out of going. They would drive to get their medical checks together. On the way there, they would drive the car into a tree. The plan was to get too injured to get sent to war, but not so injured as to be permanently crippled. And it had to look like an accident so nobody got arrested. This was in country Western Australia, so they were all going to say they swerved to miss a kangaroo and hit the tree. My grandfather was driving, his friend was in the passenger seat, and the other two were in the back. His brother was behind the passenger seat. They hit the tree doing about 40 kilometers, enough to be serious. A broken leg for my grandfather, a broken arm for the guy behind him, a broken ribs all around. They definitely weren't going to war. The problem was that for maximum impact, and because this was rural Australia, the 60s, that they weren't wearing seatbelts and nobody found them or their cars for an hour or so. Oh shit. for an hour or so, and nobody considered internal injuries in this plan. And my grandfather's brother bled to death from a ruptured spleen in the back seat. He was dead before they got to a hospital. My grandfather never forgave himself, and he never talked about it. My grandma was the only one he ever told, as far as we know, and she didn't tell my mother until long after his death. We found a small box in their bedroom when they were cleaning out the house after she died last year. It had a clipping from the local newspaper at the time about the accident. It said that they had swerved to Missouri and called it a tragedy. I don't think my mother told any of her siblings, so technically this is still a family secret. I guess now you're all in on it too. Oh, shit. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess they didn't plan that out too well. Oh, man. I got nothing to say on that one. That's just wild. That's wild. Not wanting. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, in the mindset of that, yeah, you would be thinking like, fuck, war would be even worse. You know, I might either get shot or tortured. You know, but dying in the back seat because of an internal injury, man, that must have sucked too. You know, to die slowly like that, just bleeding out to death. They didn't think like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna fucking find us out here, you know? Oh my goodness, dude. Damn, that's crazy. Woo, that's crazy. Okay. My father met my mother in the Philippines when he was stationed there in the Navy. He married her there and convinced me he went away to finish his tour of duty. My mother moved to America when she was a month away from giving birth to me. She moved in with relatives in Texas. My father's tour ended while he was in Hawaii. He met a woman there and called my mom in America asking for a divorce. He wanted to take back his recent marriage to her with a kid on the way because he had a hot one-night stand. What? My mother was already scared, being in a new country, not knowing much English. Add to this that she was pregnant, about to give birth, and her husband was dumping her. My Texan uncle got on a plane to Hawaii, prepared to kick my father's ass. He somehow talked my dad into being a man and taking responsibility for his wife and child. The fact that the fling dumped his ass surely helped. The fact, he was back by the time I was born. I learned all this when I was 11, around the time my parents got divorced. It was only the first of countless dark family secrets I would come to learn during my teenage years. Yo! He thought that one night stand was so passionate and great. He thought he was going to spend the rest of his life with that girl. And that girl was just like, ugh, nigga, what? We just fucked once. Calm down. You looked cute with the alcohol. Stop. And he's like, well, I just called my wife and dumped her and, said fuck it to my unborn kid for you. And she was just like, sucks for you, nigga. Like, the fuck? That's crazy. My man's out here was moving wild. He was moving wild. He said, oh yeah, guess what, my old Philippine wife that's just about to have my own baby. He's like, I met a thing over here. We had a hot one night stand. So you, me, done. Enjoy that kid, bitch. Like, and then Karma came around the corner and she said, Schmack, bitch, you better do the right thing. Man, he did the right thing for 11 years before leaving. That's crazy. Woo. Y'all got some dark secrets. Jesus. Okay. My mild-mannered Christian mother casually told me that she dated a gangster who trafficked cocaine in New York during the 80s. He bought her a brand new BMW before getting sentenced to prison for murder for 20 plus years. Someone who was friends with her and her ex for years turned out to be an FBI informant, and she barely escaped jail. Damn. Oh, shit. Had to enter a witness protection program and moved across the country. Here's the crazy part. Damn, that wasn't the crazy part? Okay. He's still stalking her. Oh, shit. Has contacted her on her birthday every year for 40 years and keeps tabs on her. Whoa. That means there is a nigga with a gun that's just following her everywhere she goes. My dad has no idea. I asked her why she waited so long to tell me. Like, what if she went missing? And she said, oh, honey, he's the type of person that if he wanted to harm me, I would have already been dead by now. Wow. 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 Woo! I mean, my thing is, I'm surprised let's be honest here. He let her get married to this man. You know, like he let this man get married to, because if he's still keeping tabs on her, and I guarantee you, it's a man with a pow, you know, just following her around all the damn time. Like the fact that he's like, hey, yo, boss. Like, yeah. This white dude, he over here at the house fucking on your lady. What should I do? And he's like, you know what? It's all good. I'm not out yet. But when I do get out, you know who to clap. You know? Like, bro. And the dad doesn't know. That nigga could just be out, you know, on to the grocery store. And old boy might just be like, ship hap. You know? He's like, this is Don Lito's woman now. You know? You got a new daddy. Like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Think about it. That's scary as fuck. And you don't know. That's the worst part about it, is you don't know. This girl out here got a whole ass mobster gangster motherfucker out just keeping tabs on her. You know? He over here, hey boss. Yeah. Is she pregnant? Oh really? So you're telling me I got a son or a daughter? He's like, yeah, I guess that's what's happening, boss. He's like, are you sure? Sure you don't want me to clap him? He's like, no. Don't clap him. Wait till I get out. Then clap him. You know, like, bro, like these are actual conversations that could be happening because this man's keeping tabs. So, of course, homeboy is calling him on a burner and shit, talking about, hey, yo, boss, this is what she's doing today. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know, she sucked him off in the car. I saw it. You know, damn, man. Damn. All right. I watch too much TV. All right. Oh, my God. Okay. Not very much a secret, but took me until I was older to understand what was happening. My mom would sometimes have us play a game called Army, which she consisted of me, my mom, and my siblings, army crawling around our apartment, kind of a hide and seek style game. She would yell, hit the deck randomly, and we would all drop and find a hiding spot. We would giggle and giggle while my mom army crawled around looking for us. We loved this game so much. I realized a few years ago while retelling the story that we lived in a really terrible neighborhood, and she would yell it out when she heard gunshots. Outside the building, I'm assuming she was worried about stray bullets. Wow. Hey, yo. W moms. Like, she looking out for her babies, but doing it in a fun way to not traumatize her kids. She looked at it like, I need to keep them safe, but I don't want to traumatize them to the reality of what's going on out there. So I'm going to make it into a fun game, and I'm going to make it silly for them. And that way my babies don't get fucking blasted through the drywall. Man. Again, yo, hey, W moms, man. W moms. That's woo. That would give me a whole new level of appreciation. for my mom at that point. I really would. I would be an adult thinking to myself like, wow, I'm alive because I played this game that my mom came up with. Damn, that's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Hey, call your mom, tell her you love her, man. I'm just saying. Because that's good mom. A cousin of mine's dad blew his own head off in the horse stall next to him while they were cleaning them. I was told about that around 15 because I was going to spend some time with them and was told not to mention their dad. That's tough. Imagine you're just like, shh. Now you hear bow, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And you're like, Dad. And you go into the other thing, and it's just, he's headless with just a splat. And I don't even know. No, I was going to say imagine, but no. Don't imagine that. We might all get secondhand PTSD over imagining something like that. And that's his dad. Like, oh, man. Woo. Okay, let's move on from that one. Woo. My grandmother tried to murder my grandfather. God damn, niggas. Wow. Okay, when she got sick of him beating the shit out of her every day. Okay, all right. Nah, it's warranted. That's warranted. You beating the shit out of a bitch? Yeah, bro. Yeah. She gonna retaliate one day. She might do it with a knife. She might poison your food. Yeah, she puts some Fabuloso in your soup every once in a while and mix that shit around. Like, here you go, honey. Yeah, you better watch yourself. You better watch yourself, man. She swung an axe at him and he blocked it with his hand and lost his thumb. She left him before I was born. God damn, man. Wow. I was like, Grandpa, why you got no thumb? Oh, about that. There was a crazy lady who thought I should not be alive anymore. And she tried to swing at me and I stopped it and I lost my thumb. Now, that's what happened there, little Johnny. Yeah, go on play now. go on and get out of here. leave your 9-finger grandpa alone. Goddamn. Because I know as a kid he asked. He was just like, Grandpa, why don't you have a thumb? What is that? Like I know he asked. And I'm sure Grandpa didn't want to say it was his grandma. I don't want to fuck it up for the kid. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. Like, I'm gonna just let him know, hey, there was a crazy lady. She tried to kill, she didn't think I wanted to be alive anymore. And I stopped it and lost my thumb. So go on now. Go on. Leave your 9-finger grandpa alone. All right, my grandpa was an alcohol addict and the biggest asshole. He was a terrible father and husband. He beat my mom and my 2 uncles and my grandma. He had them terrified every time he came home from drinking somewhere. Had them hiding for hours under the bed until he finally passed out. My grandma had cancer and almost died when she was like 40. My mom had to take care of her all by herself, and she visited her in the hospital that was like an hour away. All she ever heard from her dad, aka my grandpa, was that he hopes that the bitch just finally dies. Wow. My mom was 17 at the time and also had to accomplish her apprenticeship at the same time. Most of the people in the city we live knew who my grandpa was because he had a job that was somewhat important. I don't know. Everyone always just recognized by my last name. Everyone always just recognized me by my last name, that he has to be my grandpa, and they always talked about how much they liked him and how happy I have to be to have a grandpa like him. No, people knew nothing about him. At home, this man was a menace, but out in the streets, he was an angel. That's crazy. You couldn't be that, like, you're that way with strangers, but you can't be that way with your family? That's crazy. For what? For what? You can do that. You could be great to strangers, but you can't be great to your own family, your own flesh and blood. And on top of that, your own seeds. They came out your nuts, man. Like, Those are your babies. What are you doing? Damn, son. Damn. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we're going to do 2 more, and that'll be it for that. For this thread. Mine is cool. More cool than horrifying, on the sense that I'm proud of this one. All right, well, let's see what you got. My grandfather was an amazing guy. He was a sniper paratrooper in World War II. Always refused to talk about the Army. I learned later that he was dishonorably discharged after injury. Turns out the sergeant in his squad was an absolute bastard. He had to go behind enemy lines to set up a post up, and the plane was flying too low for a safe jump. He protested it to the sergeant, who proceeded to shove him out of the plane after calling him a coward. Both my grandfather and his spotter partner were seriously injured in the landing. His partner, never knew him, was paralyzed and lost his leg. My grandfather broke both of his legs, his arm, his hand, and his ribs. God damn. They both were rescued shortly after and taken to a military hospital. That's not what got him discharged, though. Turns out the sergeant showed up to visit them in the infirmary, and my grandfather punched him square in the face with his only good hand twice. If his only army buddy we ever knew is to be believed, he was also visiting at the same time. Yes, he floored the, he was visiting at the same time. He floored the bastard. After that, and on top of his injuries, the Army sent him home for the rest of the war. We fought out later after he passed. Oh, we found out later after he passed, and we had to go through his stuff, a bunch of newspapers and article clippings about the folks involved he had kept. The sergeant was also discharged after a similar incident cost the lives of 2 other members of his squad a year later that weren't so lucky. The man apparently drunk himself to death years later. We found all these written but unsent letters to his sergeant. We found photos of my grandfather's squad and the 2 that died with him. It was heartbreaking. I never knew any of this. He was such a fun, kind, and goofy guy. You'd never think anything like this would happen to him. Now I knew why my parents always said never bring up the Army around him. Miss you, Grandpa. I'd have punched the bastard too. Facts. I would have been like, if I would have known about it and Grandpa was cool about talking about it, I'd have been like, Grandpa, I'd have knocked his ass out too. I'd have been punching that nigga right there with you. I'd be seeing you in the infirmary like, man, don't worry, man, get better. And then the sergeant come in, are you guys about like, pow, fuck out of here. Get out of here, man. And you over here talking about jump out of the plane, you're a coward. Like, fuck you, man. I'd have pulled his ass with me like, come on, we're jumping out of the plane together. Yo, bitch ass nigga. Like, man, that's crazy. It is kind of a cool story all at the same time, though, because, you know, it's like this man lived through probably one of the most brutal world wars to ever live, you know? So it's like, my man's just probably saw some shit, you know? Because, goodness, that was probably one of the most craziest theaters of war. All right, this will be our last one for this thread. Grandma had 13 siblings. Of those, 7 of women are still alive. Once a year, they have a sister day where they all, except one, are going somewhere to have fun. They've been doing this since they were teens. All but one sister, who has been lied to her whole life about Sister Day because she thinks it doesn't exist. Uh-oh. This is supposed to have been started when that one sister borrowed something and didn't give it back, or something trivial like that. We are all reminded whenever we all get together pre-pandemic that we're not to talk about this because it will hurt that sister's feelings. Still can't wrap my head around how backstabbing bitchy some family members of mine are, because this is just stupid. It is. Come on, man. Like, I really don't think there is something that a sibling can do for you to hate them or lie to them or not want to, you know, spend time with them for the rest of their lives. Now, sure, are there those things that, yes, it's like they're just overboard and kind of crazy? Sure, but I mean, unless the motherfucker killed somebody or was a rapist or, you know, just did some over the top shit, for the most part, it's like, those are your siblings, you know? and if it's something trivial like that, get over it. But I guess if that works for you guys' dynamic, it works. But I just think that's really weird, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, it is what it is, man. But that's going to go ahead and be that thread for me today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that thread. That was a wild roller coaster of a thread. My goodness, man. We've been having some pretty good threads lately. And I've been appreciating that, man. I've been getting a lot of thread suggestions from you guys out over on Patreon as well as in TikToks. Couple Instagram DMs here and there. But you guys have been, sending me some spicy shit. I've been like, oh, I like that. So I do appreciate all of that. We're going to hop into announcements super duper fast, and then we'll get into our scenarios, and we'll close this bad boy out. Patreon.com/MyLastPodcast if you want to get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on Tuesday episodes like today, as well as Sunday episodes. Get in there. $3 a month, man. Get you all that. If you're an audio listener, keep downloading the podcast. I've been appreciating all the support we've been getting over on the download side of everything, as well as rate the podcast 5 stars on whatever you're listening to. It appreciates and helps a lot, and it's free. It's free. I appreciate that so much. TikTok as well as Instagram. Follow us over there for all of the clips for every single episode. And I say follow on both just because, sometimes TikTok is a bitch and they don't, they're like, kids. And I'm like, well, fuck them kids. And so then I post it on Instagram and then you can go see it on Instagram. So not all the clips are going to be on TikTok. Majority of the clips that aren't on TikTok are on there. So are on Instagram. So that's why I say follow both, because you never know. YouTube.com/MyLastPodcast. If you want to support us even more, subscribing to us over there does help a lot. I appreciate all the support that you guys have shown so far, though. We are so close to, man, doing this podcast for a year, and I appreciate that. That's like super awesome. I think it's great that we've gotten this far and that I've had this much content to deal with, and you guys are actually participating in sending scenarios and threads and all that kind of stuff. You guys have been enjoying the books that we've been reading and things. I think it's great. I didn't think it was going to turn out this way. I've been just doing this for fun because I really enjoy it and I think it's really cool, but I have built a little bit of a community and a little bit of, stuff like that. You guys criticize me and it's all good. I appreciate it. You're like, you guys suck at reading. Oh my God, you do this and you do that. This bothers me or whatever. And it's all good. I love the criticism. It helps make the show better for you guys. That's all I'm saying. But without further ado, though, let's go ahead and get into today's scenarios. We got our first one. Am I overreacting over my husband wanting someone else? God damn it, button. All right. As the title says, I'm going to make this short as possible. About 2 months ago, the neighbor, 34 female, ruined her marriage by messing around on her husband. My husband, 49 male, invited her to stay with us. That's a little... I don't know how you were okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna bring a cheating little hoe into here, and she's a little younger too, cause she's 43 and she's 34. Like, I don't know. Okay, 43 female started getting suspicious of just seeing the way she acted around, hold on. I started getting suspicious of just seeing the way. Oh, they acted around each other. Okay, typo. They acted around each other, catching him in lies. So last week I purchased a nanny cam. Yesterday I seen them making out. Oh shit. He brought that girl into this house. And knowing
she belongs to the streets.
Knowing that. And he brought her in the house. And you were okay with that? Girl, you crazy. Okay. Tonight I heard mainly him telling her he loves her and just to trust him that this will work out, and caught a glimpse of them fondling each other. Oh, he was squeezing on them titties. At this point I haven't seen anything, and sadly we need both our incomes to pay bills. I'm at a loss. Do I let it go until I can make it on my own, or do I confront his cheating ass? Should I ask for a divorce? I just don't know. I just feel numb. We've been married for 3 years, together for almost 11. Wow. Also, I gave up my amazing job to move halfway across the states to be with him, and he has given up nothing for this relationship. Am I overreacting? Oh, Here's what I think you should do. I think you should create a secret savings account. You stack you up some money. You don't spend money, you pay the bills, you pay your share of the bills, because you did say that you guys need both incomes in order to live where you're living. Go ahead, you find out how much you need to save in order to get yourself into your own apartment and to get yourself in your own situation. You find out that number. For whatever sakes, let's just say it's $5,000. It's probably not that. It's probably a lot more, but let's just say it's that. So it's like $5,000. You make a secret savings account. You let him fondle them 34-year-old boobies all he wants, whatever. Who cares? You go ahead and you stack away money, and then once you find you a place, you're about to move in, say like next week or something like that, then you get on his cheating ass and be like, I'm done with you. I've known for a while now that you out here fondling her boobies. You ain't fondling my boobies. And I'm done with it. I'm moving out. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And he's going to be like, oh, with what money, bitch? Oh, but guess what? You had your secret little savings account. And you be like, oh, I already found a place to live. I already found my old situation. So good luck getting your little heifer over there to pay half with you, because I'm out. Piece of chicken grease, motherfucker. And that's what you do. You put a little money away without him even knowing, because he's not going to know. Why? Because he's so enthralled by his little thing over there. So since he's so enthralled with that, you put you away some money. And then when you're ready to go, then you confront this bitch ass and be like, piece and chicken grease, motherfucker. And because I guarantee you that's what he's going to say. Oh, with what money? With what money? You ain't got no money to move out. What you doing? You need me. Blah, 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 blah. Like, nigga, I don't need you. I got a spot lined up already. And then if you really want to be vindictive, find you a little man or something. Like, shoot, me and Chad Thundercock, man, we about to go have some fun. You want to have your little heifer over there? Go ahead. Me and Chad Thundercock over here, we about to have some fun. We about to get down. And that's if you want to really be vindictive. But hey, if that's not the way you want to go, that's all good. But again, secret savings account. Find out how much it's going to take for you to move on and have your own little situation. Because you did say you moved, halfway across some states or whatever to be with this dude. So you really don't have like family support. You really don't have all that kind of stuff. And trying to like move back states and all that kind of stuff, that it's just going to be a lot. So try to find you something local in the area, close to your job, whatever the case may be. Save that money up in a secret savings account. Because like I said, he going to be busy with a little heifer thing. And you just be like, piece of jiggery. That's when you get his cheating ass. That's when you do it. You be like, fuck you. Yeah, girl, get it. Man. If I had a he belong to the streets button, I would push it. All right, he belong to the streets. I'll say it for you, okay? Okay, caught my husband looking at escorts. God damn it, man. What is up with that? Like, that's become a big-ass thing. Escorts. Like, I've had some guys on here, they've spent over $30,000 on escorts. I've seen some scenarios where dudes, they took out a fucking second mortgage for escorts. There was another one where a dude, he literally bought a wedding ring for one. Like, I'm telling you, man, you go back into like some previous episodes that I've done, and I swear to God, escorts and men being secretly gay is like a big fucking thing for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a big fucking thing. I said it in the June free Patreon episode. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, dudes are they're secretly gay, or they got escorts up the asshole. Like, what the fuck what? I don't know, man. God damn. Like, sometimes they be thinking women are lost. I'm like, it's these dudes, man. These dudes be getting crazy. Okay, let's get into the scenario. Enough of my ranting. My husband and I have only been married for 3 years, and last year I gave birth to our son. Damn. It's always like that. It's always like they'll just have a baby, or they're about to have a baby, and then dude is just like, he's that black kid meme where he's just like, puts up the peace sign and he just fades away. Like, bro, Why even get your wife or your girl pregnant if you ain't trying to be a dad? Like, okay. All right, man. Damn, that's crazy. He has been telling me that I need to spice things up between us and I should initiate physical touch to him because it's his love language. I admit that I lack intimacy. I struggle when it comes to making love. I don't enjoy it often and it could feel like a task sometimes. My husband, on the other hand, craves intimacy. He'd do it every day if he can. We simply don't match in terms of sexual drive, but I'd like to think that we have it good in everything else. My husband is leaving for a week for a work trip. I thought I trust him until I saw some screenshots of escorts on his phone. I confronted him and he said that he was so sexually stressed. That's why he got curious. My guy, the hub is free and beating your meat. It's free, bruh. Like, I get it. Maybe it's not the same. And he's just like, no, I need some actual. But like, bro, you have a wife and you have a baby on the way. You know, that's a compromise you're just going to have to make. And you're just going to have to beat your fucking meat, brother. Like, what are you doing? You know, go in the bathroom real quick and beat it up. And, you know, like, because your circumstance, that's what it is. You're not single, bro. You're not in that position to be looking at escorts. You have a fucking baby on the way and a wife. Like, nigga. He mentioned that he knows what he did is wrong, but it was also because I don't provide him his needs. He swore that he only looked at it, but never contacted or tried one. Oh.
Stop the cap.
I don't know about that one. I don't know what to feel right now. Our son is only a year old and don't want him to grow up without a dad. I'm so hurt by what he did, but I think I'll have to forgive him for our child's sake. He's away right now for the said work trip, and I would like to have a serious conversation with him when he gets back. I'm confused and unsure what to tell him when he's back. Has anyone had this experience before? If you choose to stay with your significant other, how do you move past it? It's a thing where I've always said that, and I think I said this also in the June 7th free Patreon Day episode, is that once it is a mistake. Twice, now that's not a mistake, and you're just doing it on purpose. That's a trend at that point. And if you feel like this man is worth it, which I think you do because you have a son and, you know, he's probably a good dad and he's probably a good guy to you or whatever. But you have to have that conversation under the guise of like, look, man, you know, I'm only willing to stay in this and fight for this if you are, you know, and if you're putting into not doing these things, being mindful of me and your son and all this kind of stuff, because if not, and you can't prove that to me, then why am I here? I'm going to be out of here. I'm gone. It's just, you know, that's something you just shouldn't tolerate. And I understand it sucks because it's like, the kid, you know, but again, it's like, if he does it once and he changes, and that's great. If he does it twice, it's like there's no changing at that point. That point, he's stuck in a loop. He's going to do it a third time, and then he's going to do it a fourth time, and then he's going to do it a fifth time, and so on and so forth. Why? Because in his mind, he's like, man, I've already done this twice, and she came back to me. What's a third? Oh, man, I've done this 3 times, and then she came back to me. What's a fourth? Man, I've already done this 4 times, man. She don't give a fuck. You know, she's just going to come back to me anyway. She's going to huff and puff and then come back to me anyway. And that's going to be his mindset. And that's why you got to nip that in the bud and give him the benefit of the doubt on the first time. Hey, you made a mistake. You know, 1 time's a mistake. 2 times, that's a trend. At that point, it's like he's just going to think to himself, I could just get away with this shit, and I'm just going to do it. And you don't have to deal with that. You know, sure, it's not like he won't be in the son's life. Nah, you'd be like, hey, nigga, get over here on the weekends and come see your son, you know? Or split it up, you know, where it's like you guys he spends 4 days with you and then 3 days with his dad, or, you know what I mean? However your schedules work out, you can still do stuff like that and co-parent. And I mean, if you want to co-parent in the same house, then that's okay, but that's up to you and your willingness to kind of, tolerate him and all of what he's got going on, if I'm just saying. But yeah, it's just, that's something you're going to have to really put him to the test too. And if he can, it's up to you with the timeline. If you talk to him and you're just like, I need you to prove this to me, and you tell him, like, if you can show me that in the next 6 months or a year or 2 years, whatever your timeline is, you let them know that, like, hey, if you can stay clean, this and that, then you've proven to me that you have changed and that we can move on forward. But you got to stick to that timeline, man. You got to stick to that. You got to stick to your guns on that one and be like, nah, man, I'm not forgiving you of this until that 6 months, that year, that 2 years, whatever your time is, and I'm not saying in that time, don't have sex with them or don't give them kisses or don't do this for them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, let him prove that to you, that he's not going to do this. And then if he does it, and then it's just like, see, why was I going to forgive you? That's just how I see it. But, everybody's different. You may have a different solution than I. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right. On to the next one. Am I the asshole for getting an abortion and then filing for divorce? She killed that baby and said, peace, motherfucker. All right. I, 33 female, and my husband, 35 male, have been married for over 2 years. While we were dating, the conversation of kids had come up multiple times, and I had always, exercised or expressed that I did not think I would be a good enough mother for my children. A lot of personal trauma earlier in life. He, however, had mentioned before that he would like to have kids, but he respected my thoughts and decisions on the matter. I married him under this notion. A couple of months ago, I had some suspicion that I was pregnant. Went to the doctor and she confirmed my suspicions. Thankfully, I live in a state where abortions are illegal, and I thought about just going through with it on my own. But I decided to involve him in the process. As soon as I broke the news to him, he immediately became overjoyed, saying how it was a great thing and he was so excited. I probably reminded him of our conversation about me not wanting children. He decided that the conversation was so long. It was so long ago. He was sure I'd have changed my mind by now and tried persuading me every way. Persuading me. She put persuading my. So persuading me every way he could. It got to the point where he was pleading with me not to kill the child. Wait a minute. Wait. You decided to have the abortion. You told him. He rejoiced. Then you guys revisited the conversation of not having kids. And then he said, oh, I thought you would change your mind by then. So that's why I shot up the club. And then now he's begging you not to kill the kid? That makes absolutely no sense. How is he okay and rejoicing about it? And then you guys have a conversation. All of a sudden he's just like, well, I mean, I just nutted all up in you because I thought maybe you had changed your mind. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, don't kill the baby. Let's have it. Like, okay. All right. Well, I decided to go through with it. The next couple of weeks or so after, he was extremely distant, muttered under his breath frequently, and he would hardly look at me. I found out from my mother-in-law that he blames me for killing our child, and he can't forgive me for it. Knowing that this is how he saw me now, I decided to get a divorce. When I told him, he immediately erupted, speaking, yelling the most vile words at me in a while. I didn't hear much of it as I promptly left and haven't spoke to him or been back since, as I am staying with my sister. This whole thing has been a nightmare. Am I the asshole? No, because you told him you didn't want to have kids. He agreed to that. There was no point where you said you changed your mind and you wanted kids. He just was up in them guts and decided, you know what? She's letting me hit it raw. I'm about to bust, and she ain't telling me to pull it out. So I'm a finna bust. And so then he busts, and he's just like, cool, if she gets pregnant, maybe she changes her mind. Maybe if she actually gets pregnant, she might change her mind. That was the assumption that he was going under. But then you decided, hey, I'm getting the divorce. I'm getting the abortion. I just want you to know that. I told you I didn't want kids. And you were cool with that. And he's over here like, no, don't kill the baby. Don't kill the baby. What are you doing? And you go through with it because you stand on business. And he's upset that you stood on business. And I don't think you're the asshole for that. You stood on business. You stayed consistent through the whole thing. You're like, I don't want kids. We got married. Then for some dumb reason, you decided, oh, yeah, she's letting me hit it raw. I'm finna bust. She ain't telling me to pull out. So I'm finna bust. You know? And I get that. If it was a thing where it was just like, oh, shit, nah, the coochie was good. I busted it aside. My bad. I didn't know we got pregnant. You want to get the abortion? All right, no, that's cool. And then you guys move on and everything's great. Then okay. But the fact that he thought that was going to change your mind. And I guarantee you it might have been a thing where he was talking to his friends and being like, oh, well, once you get her pregnant, then she'll probably change her mind right then and there, because she's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't kill this baby. Like that's immoral. That's crazy. But she was like, man, fuck them morals and fuck this kid. Goodbye. Get out of my body. Because she was that adamant. She stood on business, and that's what I'm saying. It's like she stood on business. It is what it is. And so I think he's the asshole for assuming that she changed her mind all of a sudden, because he was up in there raw. He was fitting the bus. And, yeah. So I think he's the asshole on that one. And you let me know what you think about that one in the comments. Man, these scenarios are getting crazier and crazier. It's a lot of pregnant shit. Weird. But, hey, like I said, that's the climate, though, That's the climate of what's going on. It seems like a lot of women will meet a guy, they'll get married to the guy, they'll be with him, then they get pregnant, and they're just about to pop a baby out of their vagina, and then dude is just like, oh man, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to get some fresh coochie. I'm going to be with the one girl for the rest of my life. And it's like, dude, you didn't realize that a long time ago? Like you could have realized this a long time ago. You could have got out of this relationship and gone with these hoes or whatever. But you want to take this girl all the way up to just before the fucking finish line and then turn around? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And this is a lot of the reason why a lot of women see dudes the way they do. It's because it's just, it's like a lot of these women look at it like, man, I would hate to be her. I would hate to get stuck in that situation. And a lot of guys, they kind of show these traits early on. And I think women pick up on that super quick. And they're just like, oh yeah, no, you that type of guy. I get pregnant by your dumb ass. You're going to be like, oh man, you're going to turn to Ray Charles all of a sudden. Man, I don't know what's going on. I don't see no baby. What we talking about? So... Woo, but this is going to be our last scenario for today. If you've gotten to this far in the episode, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, downloading, all that good shit, man. I appreciate all the support. Let's get into the last one. All right, would I be the asshole if I divorced my pregnant wife? Nigga. Yes. Yes. You busted in her. You gave her a baby, and then you're like, damn, she's pregnant as fuck. I don't want to be with you no more. Like, what are we doing here? Okay. All right, man. Let's see what's up. I was together with my ex-girlfriend since we were 15 until 25. So for about 10 years. Then her best friend and her had a falling out, and that's when her best friend spilled the beans and all the secrets were exposed. She told me my ex cheated on me with a mutual friend and had been cheating for 2 years. Okay. When I confronted my ex-girlfriend, she was very angry and asked if it was her best friend who told me. I said yes. She became even angrier and said that I was a moron who didn't trust her. She refused to answer me because she said that I should know her better than this. I took it as her avoiding the answer. Now, 3 years later, I am married to the best friend. Oh, shit. And we're expecting our first child. She is 6 months pregnant. I find out that she fabricated the whole story from her sister. No. She showed me all the text conversations between them. My wife was in love with me and wanted my ex-girlfriend out of the way. She used their falling out to make up the story. No. Then she used my grief to act like she cared I was hurting. I want a divorce. I can't even look at her without being nauseous. She repulses me. I don't think I could recover from this. Wow, that story took a turn I didn't even think it could take. I mean, at least you know she love you. Like, god damn, man. On one hand, I want to be like, it's in the past, you know, and what's in the past is what's in the past. You know, she did anything and everything to get you, and she got you. I understand how that looks, you know, the way she did it and everything. It does kind of make her look a little cuckoo, you know, if I'm being honest with you. But at the same time, though, I mean, I just think she love you, bro. I not even love. I think she is obsessed with you. You know, and now that she's having your baby, she's like, yeah, I got this man. He ain't going nowhere. I ain't ever letting no other bitch get my man. You know, like, I do think she's crazy, but in the thing of like, would you be the asshole for divorcing her for this? Yeah, look, I'm just gonna give you my thoughts, okay? Whether you agree with me or not, you know, that's up to you guys, okay? This is just my opinion. I think he is the asshole. Because for a girl to go out of her way that much because she loves you and wants to be with you, I think it's admirable. I ain't gonna lie. It's like this girl knew what she wanted and she did anything and everything to be with this man. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going to cheat on you. She ain't going to leave. You know what I mean? I get it. You might look at it like, oh, but she lied. And, you know, what else could she be lying about and all that kind of stuff? I get that perspective too. But I think the fact that she did all this to get this man, trust me, she ain't going to do nothing to fuck it up. She ain't going to do not a goddamn thing to fuck it up. If she went this far, if she stabbed her friend in the back and fabricated a whole ass story just to get this man, trust me, she ain't doing anything to fuck this up. Nothing. I mean, nada. No, she ain't. And that's why I kind of say, I mean, bro, you know, I'd stay with her. I'd stay with her. I wouldn't really, I get it. It's the lying thing and it's kind of repulsive and it's kind of crazy, but still, like, I don't know. I would say, because she ain't ever going to leave you. And now she got your baby. She definitely ain't going to leave you. But I don't know. That's my 2 pennies. Okay? That's just me. If you think I'm wrong, comment. Tell me why I'm wrong. What do you think? You know, is he the asshole? Is he not? Is what she did warranted in the eyes of love? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that one. But that's going to go ahead and be it for today's Tuesday episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Again, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on Tuesdays, as well as Sunday show, just like these people did today. Keep downloading the podcast, rate it 5 stars on your preferred listening platform, and Instagram as well as TikTok. Follow us on there for the clips. I say follow on both because TikTok sometimes is a bitch and, you know, won't let me post what I want. So Instagram is like, don't worry, I got you, fam, and it lets me post whatever the fuck I want over there. And so you can go ahead and get the clip over there. You never know. So that's why I say follow us on both. YouTube.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. If you want to see the production of what we got going on and you want to see the video side of the podcast, then YouTube is the place to do it. If you want to subscribe over there, it's completely free. It helps out the channel a lot. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you on Thursday for, I believe, chapters 4? I think it's 4 and 5 of A Court of Thorns and Roses. And yeah, that's it for me today. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace and chicken grease.